All right, so after a stuttery start, we are finally joined by Simon Zebo and Donnacha Ryan, who are seated in some public space in a very sunny Paris, I'm guessing. How are you doing, lads? Thanks for joining us.
Good, yeah, really good. Thanks for having us. We're here in Simon Zebo's balcony, so it's good. He's flying fiddle as well, and he's enjoyed the old COVID experience a lot by painting his toenails. Scary stuff.
Very nice.
Thanks, man. My daughter.
It's been a good excuse for you not to train, Zeebs. At least you don't have to keep up. You haven't had to keep up a pretense of training. I know you hate it. So.
I've been training. I've been doing a bit, you know. Yeah, just keeping on top of things. But my daughter obviously comes in the way at time to time, and you know me. Sorry.
Back foot mess.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
I was saying this since I walked in the door. I was like, oh my God, this stinks. But yeah, no, really good, really enjoying it. We're back training next Monday. We were in this morning doing testing for COVID, and to get the results back tomorrow. So they're going to put us into small groups of 4 on Monday, and we're going to probably disperse out the day. And some guys will be coming in at 7:30 and be finished at 11:30. Other guys will be coming a little later in the day and finishing maybe at 7:30 and stuff. But no, it'll be good. So we're due to be back playing matches in September. All going well, but yeah, you know, we could change that as well. So kind of the first month I think is going to be very easy, so not to cripple any bit of motivation going into the season. I think so. Instead of doing maybe a 4-month pre-season, so yeah, we'll see. But like, really looking forward to getting back training at the moment anyway, and seeing a few more people, so which is good.
How has it been being stuck in a foreign country in the midst of all this and the kind of madness of it? Like, were you caught in the hop? Was it ever considered to come back to Ireland? Did you just have no choice in the matter, or how did it come about that you were in France for this whole time?
Yeah, I it just kind of snuck up rather quickly, you know. It kind of last minute, I think, with a week or so to go before the official lockdown came in, we had the opportunity to leave if we wanted. You know, but you'd have to do the self-isolating and things like that, and we never knew when we'd be called back into training, so you'd be playing with fire there a bit. So I think we were just best off to stay at home, and looks like we'll be training for a couple of weeks the next week or two, and then we'll have some time off. So hopefully it'll ease off a bit then, and we get to come home. So.
What's it like? Sorry, Dunk. What's it been like in general over there? It was because it was pretty strict, the lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very strict. So like in the first few days, actually, my daughter, she had her 2-year checkup with the doctor's appointment scheduled months in advance, and we had to go out and just go to the doctor. But we were stopped by the police and unmarked cars and stuff to make sure we had like a piece of paper written out from like with our address and the time we left our house and what was the purpose of us being outside. And there was a bit of an army presence around where we were as well, just maybe double checking on that. And if you didn't have that piece of paper to show what you were doing, basically you were fined €350. So it's pretty strict. Couldn't be further than 2 kilometers away from your home. But to be fair, it's probably a necessary thing, you know, because people weren't just going out to drop the hat, like, you know, and really been very conscious about what they were supposed to be doing. And to be fair, it was quite eerie. Like, there's nothing on the roads, very, very quiet. Normally our area is quite busy, but yeah, it was really people, I think, over here probably paid attention to the rules, and which actually has been quite good.
Good stuff.
Tell us, Donal, you've been there it's almost 3 years now. You've been there nearly 2. How did you find the adjustment to going over to France? Because it's not a hugely, even at this point, a hugely well trodden path for Irish players. So, Donal, maybe if we start with you, just the fact that you were obviously coming from a position of being a line-out caller and being someone that was really involved in the nuts and bolts of game planning and the set piece. Zeebs, you kind of always have more of a laissez-faire attitude, which is kind of part of your game. But so you kind of both coming from very different experiences. How did you find the adjustment of coming to work with French players, first of all, and secondly, with players from kind of every corner of the earth, because I know a club like Racing, like most clubs in France, you have people from like almost every continent in the world in one form or another. So, Donal, starting with you, how did you find it?
Yeah, it was really exciting. At the beginning, it was just going into the changing room, and there was no one there, but you had your picture on in the training center where your locker was, and it's kind of cool just walking on, looking at all the other players. It was just into Simon Zebo a second ago about what's her name again? It was great. You know, you're seeing like Joe Rockakoko, Anthony Titavaki, Dan Carter, and Yannick Nanga, all these guys, Pato Albacetti, all these serious players, serious names and stuff, and to be talking alongside them was such a really cool thing, and they're such normal guys. So yeah, it was really good.
I have a child losing his mind in the background here. Ezzy, relax. Sorry. He's going looking for his mother. It's okay.
But yeah, so I think I unfortunately got injured my first game. I damaged my neck, so I think I wouldn't have been as big a name a player, I suppose, going over there. So I was really keen to make a good impression, and kind of felt that I was trying to bring all the traits that I had as a Munster player over to Racing and show what really Munster was about, and just pretty hard work ethic, and unfortunately I wasn't able to do it at the beginning, so I found it very frustrating. But once I got on the pitch, then I literally tried to give as best as I could and just make it as good representation of an Irish player who's gone abroad and basically doing it as best he can, and that was my motivation. Really, I suppose, just to enjoy the experience and try to probably. It was really different at the beginning of games, because you know, it's this, like, you know, you play Pro 14 and I don't think it has the same intensity as the top 14, and they're going to these small villages and like casts and stuff, and you're literally the whole town are out beating the bus going in the door, and we're getting that every week, which is absolutely great, very exciting. And as well, I suppose at the beginning you're playing against these guys and they're giving you abuse on the pitch in French, so it's great because you haven't a clue what they're saying. So, but other than that, now it's been great. Really enjoying it, and obviously it's great when he came over as well. So it's just to have another bit of Irish banter around the change room.
So, Zeebs, moving on to you. You're obviously born and bred in Cork. You spent your whole life at Munster. What was it like going over to France? You'd obviously spent plenty of time in France before, and you had a grasp of the language that you used to exaggerate, I think, in my experience, but you had some sort of knowledge of it anyway. How did you find going over and kind of being in a place where people were from all over the country and the world, and there was such a mix of cultures and languages and everything else?
Yeah, I was very excited by it, you know, and obviously having a French-speaking background, it would have been a little bit easier for me. But the fact that the team is so multicultural and international, you know, it's very easy to mix with the players and get on with everyone really well, regardless of whether you can speak the language or not. You know, and obviously to go and play against, or having played against them, but to play with like Virimi and Teddy and, you know, Finn, all these guys, you know, they're incredibly talented people. So to be able to fit into the system and to see how players bounce off each other and gel, and, you know, just to fit in has been really good and seamless. And yeah, it's amazing, man. You know, for such an international team, you know, we probably wouldn't communicate as much on the pitch as a Munster or Leinster or any of the English charities teams or things like that. So you're for the backs anyway, you're going a lot off body language, and, you know, like it's so cool to play in a team like that. Although you prefer more chat at times, but the fact that like one movement of the hips or a side step left and right and you're reacting off that, and, you know, you can't defend it because we don't know ourselves what we're going to do. So to fit into a system like that has been really it's been really cool, and it's been like it's been a really good 2 years. The experience so far has been.
Moving on to the teams, lads, because that's why we're here after all. We might start with you, Dunners. If you can have a chat to us about the second row partnerships. Obviously, we've got Tom Hayes and Malcolm O'Kelly on the Irish side, and Mick and Paul O'Connell on the other. What are your thoughts on that? Are you bitter about being excluded from either starting 15, first of all?
Just even make the page, Duncan, is just an honour. As I'm sure you're disappointed not to make the cut yourself there, but yeah, there's some interesting ones. I was looking at actually the team, the Mick Galwey's one, and I've actually played with the starting 50, every player on that team, which is just give you a perspective of the age. But yeah, I think Paulie for the Donal's selection of Mick and Mick Olive and Paulie is a good one. I think I would have picked that too, to be honest. And I think Tom Hayes and Mal. I think it's a tight one. I think Mal has a toss up between Mal and Paulie there. I think they're two great players. Mal was seriously fit player, and but I think
hasn't a lick on Paulie.
But Paulie probably maybe have the old brain power. Mal was very fit.
Mal,
yeah, very fit.
Very politically correct. Very politically correct.
But yeah, so yeah, I think they're kind of pretty evenly matched there. But I'm going to give the nod to the Olive and Paulie, and that one I think they might just they'll have the good relationship together over the years as well. Yeah, and also Olive is very good at giving an old pre-match speech. I'm sure he'd have all the boys pumped up as well, and Paulie. That might be awkward before the two boys be mad to get a bit of mic time before the game.
Zeebs, looking at the back three. If you're looking at the back three there, there's an interesting matchup there when you've got Richard Wallace against Peter O'Mahony. How do you see that one faring out?
I haven't seen too much of Richard Wallace play now, but I fancy him to do a job over Pete, to be honest. Pete is. I've seen Pete play
even in his 50s.
Yeah, even in his 50s. Pete gets a lot of props for playing on the wing for Cronin one game when he absolutely did nothing. He was just basically a shadow on the field. So it's quite funny. But I'd go with Richard Wallace on that. Pat Murray, no chance. And Ersey, I'd have Ersey in. So I'd go Ersey, myself and Tommy, to be honest. It's a good looking back three.
I can't really see that one getting beaten either myself.
Yeah.
Pat Murray is like the exact opposite of you, Zeebs, in terms of being slow and steady and yeah. But then you've got the X factor there, so
okay. We've actually no pace in the back line at all apart from Ersey. That's actually Paulie. Really? Yeah.
Just moving on, because we're talking to Trevor Brennan in a while. Did Trevor play in the second row at any stage, or was this kind of a bit of poetic license that was taken by Mick Galwey? Because he's on the bench as a second row.
No, he was a second row for Toulouse.
Toulouse, yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. I only remember him playing in the back row.
You just didn't do your research, man. That's it.
Did you play in that game where Pete played on the wing, Zeebs?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I was playing in the centre. So
okay.
13. Sorry.
You were probably it was when you were slightly more rotund than you are now. Maybe was it?
Yeah. Still get the fucking job done, Dunk. I tell you that, man. Fucking no snapping.
So in terms of
how's the Lego coming on?
Obviously not that well.
So, lads, in terms of an overall verdict on which team you would see winning, what would be your thoughts there? Zeebs, to start with you.
I'd see Donnacha's, well, the team Donnacha has there. I'd see that pack doing the job, and my back line. So if we could mesh them two together, and if we couldn't, I'd probably go with my team, Galway's team.
Yeah, I think our pack would definitely win. I suppose a big question would be is who's reffing? Like Claude there, I think, and Galway would be dodgy enough, but I don't know if we get through the whole match with 14 or 15 lads on the pitch. But I'd be very hopeful that our boys will do the business.
All right, lads. Well, look, thanks very much for your time. We're running on kind of tight windows here to try and pack in as much as we can. So it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Apologies for the initial hiccups. We can blame Mark for that. I'm sure he'll be happy to take it on the chin. He was giving out about you incessantly before you actually managed to get online. So I think it's only fair that he showed us some of the blame for it. So look, the very best of luck with the return to training and the return to what will hopefully be the playing season in September, and keep enjoying the nice weather. Although we're not having bad weather here too. So yeah, mind yourselves, lads, and take care.